Hi, this is Usha speaking. Thanks for watching. Hi. Today I talk about womanhood because femininity. This is very important in my life. And yeah, I grew up in the Netherlands and we moved to Nicaragua last year. And so, yeah, what I noticed is that, I've always felt very drawn to things that are considered feminine, so I love being with other women. I love, yeah, all things feminine, such as being creative and being receptive and taking care of children, having a community. Engaging in typically feminine activities, such as processing of food or, making things yourself in the kitchen. And yeah, I'm also a belly dance teacher. And belly dancing is really a celebration of womanhood. And so it's really a very wonderful thing to practice belly dance when you're a woman, because you're with other women, and the movements, they're really natural for women to make. They're so fluid, they're so round, and it really has helped me to accept myself and to love myself more as a woman. And it's also very healing. It has healed me on so many levels. And the beautiful thing is that it's done without words. It's all about expressing yourself. And of course you're doing it, you're learning techniques, so you're really working through things, and this makes you grow as a woman. And yeah, but I'll make a separate video about belly dancing, because I can talk for hours about this. But belly dancing, it is important for me in going, yeah, how do you say, reconnecting to our feminine side, to womanhood, because I feel that in Western society, the way society is being structured is that women are not so much living together anymore and sharing, these typical, yeah, feminine activities, and sharing the feminine knowledge the way we used to. I also home birthed my children. So yeah, I just gave birth to them at home, and this is in the Netherlands you're allowed to, which is crazy, because I think any woman should be allowed to, have birth to children wherever she wants. But I guess yeah, that makes me a radical or whatever. But I think we're really, I don't know, sort of become so isolated, disconnected from our feminine side. And I think it is a beautiful thing to be a woman. And I think it's also very important to keep balance in society. It's if for us to be true women, is very important for men as well, because what do you think is going to happen if we start behaving as if we're men? Then men start to become unbalanced. So there comes this disbalance in society, and we are also role models, right, for our children. So yeah, what if we don't pass on the knowledge, the joy of being a woman to our children? So I feel that a lot is lost, and I think a lot of people feel lost these days, and I think this sort of corrupts, and I think it's how do you say, like a boomerang. It'll come back to you. You know what I mean? You can forsake your true nature to a certain extent. I think we all do this, or we've all done this. You know what I mean? You can get away with some stuff, but at a certain point, life will catch up on you, and it will teach you that we have brought things too far out of balance. Because there's a saying in Dutch, maybe it's in English too, that like women, it's very traditional, maybe it's male chauvinist according to some people, I don't care. But because I'm proud to be a woman, and to be a woman behind the kitchen counter or whatever, I think that's a beautiful thing. But no, we have saying that women are, and I'm not a good woman in that respect. I don't spend too much time in the kitchen. I'm not really that good at it, but I've done it all, you know, and I've made everything myself, you know what I mean, making jam, making whatever. But so I I love these things. But yeah, no, women are the cement of society, you know, like they take care of the children, they take care of the elders, they take care of the sick people, you know what I mean, like they sort of, the socially, they are the glue, you know, that holds society together. So what do you think is going to happen if all those women all of a sudden think, or not all of a sudden, but if they have started to believe that they should work too like men, and that they should have the right to lead the same lives as men? And I think they should have a right, you know, that's not the point. It's just that I think things are becoming out of balance, and I think if you look at the consequences, because of course it's one thing to want something, but if you got to think of the consequences, you know, because society, you know, and our family and our own life, they're all like, they're structured, right? They're structures. And so if you're gonna take away cards, you know, at a certain point the house of cards is gonna fall down. So, and I know so many women who thought, you know, they're only worth something if they have a well-paid job. So, and they try to juggle, you know, having a highly paid job with family life. And you know, those women after they're 40, they're most of them, they're having a burnout. And I think these days it's called long COVID. I'm sorry if I'm offending people now, but it looks very similar to me. But yeah, because like also in the Netherlands, I know a woman and she has 3 kids, quite young kids. And they just moved, and it was COVID time, and she was having a highly paid full-time job with a lot of stress, you know, a lot of pressure. And she was saying, yeah, I'm suffering from long COVID. And I said, but sweetheart, your life, you know, I wouldn't be able to do that for a week. You know what I mean? Like, this is just, it's too much. So women, they sort of think they can take on the role of the man and the women. And they, you know, if you forget about your feminine side, you know, and you don't nurture it, you know, you don't go into your yin energy, you know, your passive side, your receptive side, you know, this is our nature. And it doesn't mean we're not active, but it's about a rhythm, right? It's like breathing, you breathe in, you breathe out, it's day, it's night, it's winter, it's summer, you know, so there has to be a balance. And so if we as women, you know, with our feminine side, if we lose balance and we get caught up in all that young energy where we have to do everything, you know, we have to do the household, or, you know, work hard, or have a husband who has a good job, whatever, let somebody else take care of the household. But so, yeah, and bring the kids to daycare, you know, my husband and I, we've never done that because we just felt, yeah, we wanted to have children, so we want to take the responsibility. And I think the problem is, you know, we don't really have a community anymore in the West. So, you know, I mean, I know women and their parents, their moms are saying, no, honey, I can't babysit your children because I have a life too. And I'm working full time, so I can't babysit your child. You know, that is so terrible. And, yeah, I think to a certain extent we have a choice. But, you know, like for us and our family, it's not that we were that, you know, affluent that I could just be a stay-at-home mom, which I think is a ridiculous term. I'm just a mom, you know. But it's choices we make, you know. Maybe we don't want to go on holidays for 4 times a year, 5 times a year. Maybe we don't need all these devices. Maybe I don't want to go shopping all the time. Maybe we don't want to go into town all the time, go out for dinner all the time, you know, because it's also about your consuming, you know, behavior, your consuming consumption pattern. And so I think a lot of people could do with a lot less and have more time for family. Because what is important in the end? It's your health. It's your peace of mind. It's your partner, your kids. It's your home. It's your neighbor. It's your community. You know what I mean? What? yeah, and I mean, like, when I had kids, you know, and people would ask me like, hey, so yeah, what do you do? You know, and I've always done a lot of things, and I've always, you know, also worked a little here and there, but I've never been like a pro, you know, like a real career woman. That's just not my cup of tea. I don't know, it doesn't suit me. I guess I don't have that ambition. But that doesn't mean I'm worth less. And that doesn't mean I'm less capable than other people or less intelligent, you know. So and then I'd say, no, but we have children, you know, my husband and I, we've arranged it, you know, in traditional way, and we have a homestead, and we have an Airbnb and take care of the cats, and I do this and that. I teach belly dance, but I'm basically just a mom, you know. And then I'd say, yeah, okay, so you're a mom, yeah, you have kids, so you raise them, yeah. And I had this one guy say to me, I think he was a narcissist or something, like only interested in status, and, you know, like trying to figure out like where you are on the social ladder, like should I sort of pursue contact with you? Are you interesting for me or not, you know? And he said, yeah, but what do you do? What do you do? What else do you do? So crazy. I thought to myself, well, why don't you raise kids, you know? If one of them, you know, trips or is having a fight with his brother or needs a band-aid or whatever, he can sit on my lap and I can give him a little kiss and I can comfort him, you know, and give him a little hug, and then he can play again, you know, feel reassured. And yeah, in the Netherlands, you know, it was like they would be in school like all day, which is not so nice to begin with, I think. I mean, our kids are in school now, but we're kind of critical, but they're happy in the school, so it's okay. So they'd be in school all day long, and then there'd be this bus with these ladies who were paid to take care of your kids and who'd rather maybe do other things or be at home or whatever, or be with their own kids, and they would just hand out these shirts, you know, these like fluorescent shirts, so that they could, you know, keep an eye on these kids. So like a little uniform, you know, like a dog on a collar or something. And they'd shout like, yeah, come on here, and the kids and this and that, you know, like so detached, you know, so disconnected. And of course there's all kinds of daycare, you know, like, of course, you know, there's some very personal, very high quality daycare. Sure, I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just saying like, how can this be that we have children and we're just thinking work is more important than caring for our children? I just don't understand that, you know. And I also feel, you know, because this video is not about, you know, having children only, but I'm just saying, like, there's great value in these things, you know. There's value in women coming together, women, you know, helping each other with birth, you know, like, or when someone's ill, or taking care of each other's babies, or doing stuff together, you know. Because I'd have these really alternative friends, you know, in the Netherlands, because we were all like, you know, had made a choice to take care of our kids, and we would do so many lovely things with our kids, you know, because we had time. And the thing is, like, in the Netherlands, I mean, you never saw kids outside anymore. They were either in a daycare or they were behind their devices, you know. Or if you'd go shopping or go to a grocery store, you know, you'd be like, where are the kids? So it's I don't know, I don't think this is healthy. I think we need animals to have, we live with animals, live with kids, live with elderly people, you know. This is organic, this is wholesome, you know. Be together. Everything's become so isolated, so fragmented. I don't think that's right, you know. And when I meet some women, I'm like, yeah, okay, so you bought the new clothes, you're following all the trends, and you're making good money, and you have it all set up, and maybe you've got some kids, but you don't really shine, you know, you don't really sparkle. Like, what's happened, you know? And I just have a feeling that a lot of women have lost touch with their femininity, you know, like with their belly, you know, with their womb, you know. It's like there's so much power in there, there's so much beauty and enjoyment. It's a joy to be a woman, and we can also embrace our curves, you know. And if you don't have curves, that's fine too. You're gonna have some, because that's just a skeletal structure of a woman, you know. It's more round than men. But, like, for example, also our looks, you know. I mean, should I say my age? I don't really care. I'm nearly 50 now, you know. And I feel that the older you get as a woman, the more woman, the more feminine you become, you know, because you're so ripe, you know, you're like a ripe piece of fruit, you know. There's beauty in that. Of course, there's also beauty in young women, you know. I love them. They're so pretty and they're still in the prime of their life, you know. They could be my daughters, you know. I think they're beautiful, but like to have, you know, a woman who's weathered the storm, or like a really old lady who's seen, you know, who's been through life, that is beautiful. I mean, we love old big trees, right? Why don't we love old people, you know? And there's nothing wrong with gray hair. There's nothing wrong with, you know, wrinkles. And we can age in an elegant way, you know? Like we can just act our age or look our age, you know, that's fine. And women, you know, I think the way women, yeah, they're supposed to look these days, we're not men. We have hips and they're beautiful. You know, we're made that way so we could procreate, you know, like bear children. And so I think, I mean, that's so a lot of, you know, when you belly dance, you know, you really get rid of all these hang-ups, because you're going to embrace your belly, you're going to embrace your hips, you know, you're going to embrace your breasts, whatever, you know. Why should we always focus on what's not good for us, you know? And yeah, it's women have a higher percentage of fat anyways than men, and we have our cycle, you know, so this is, you know, it's like ebb and flow. So it's also with our weight and with our age, and we change, and it's okay. You know, why don't we just love each other and love ourselves? And, you know, I know so many lovely women, and also in my belly dance class, you know, it's not about competition. It's about embracing each other and celebrating each other, you know. So, yeah, I do feel that as a woman, you know, sometimes we have to fight in life. Sure, you know, you got to fight for your family, you got to maybe fight for yourself, you know. It's not always easy, and we're very strong, you know, but I feel like we shouldn't fight like men. Why should we do that? You know, it's not necessary. And it's about, I mean, why can't we just be and feel peace inside, you know, like, and be warm for the people around us, be warm for our children, you know. This is our role, and it's something to be proud of. And I don't think, you know, I think a lot of women, you know, they feel burned out, you know, they get panic attacks, you know, that's serious. I think there's a lot of pressure on women, and I think that if you sort of forsake your feminine side, it's gonna backlash, you know, how do you call that? It's gonna, yeah, like I said in the beginning, it's gonna boomerang. And you know, it does damage. It does do some damage, you know, if you get a burnout, or you know, you fall ill, or yeah, it's so I think it's really time we can embrace our feminine side and listen to our voice, listen to our intuition, listen to what it's saying and where it's guiding us, and get in touch with that. Because I feel the way we're living, I mean, we have not, how do you say, did we really choose this, you know? Is this really what life is meant to be? And I'm sure, you know, it's not easy to get out of it, you know, it's not easy to get out of the matrix, you know, there are so many levels. But I think the way we're leading our lives, you know, I think it's sort of thought out by other people a lot of the time. And I think we can sort of regain our own wisdom and really feel and decide, like, yes, what is in harmony with myself? What is the kind of the way I want to lead my life really suits me and suits my energy and suits my nature, you know. So yeah, I just feel this would be more healthy. And I think women are women, men are men, and of course there are women who might feel more like a tomboy or like a man, and that's fine with me, you know. There's also some very sturdy women in belly dance, you know, they're cool, that's fine with me. And there's some men who are maybe more feminine, and you know, that's also fine with me. But let's not mix it up, you know. Let's not get confused, because you know, when you're confused, you don't really have the clarity of mind to know where you're going, and you sort of lost. So I think it's really important to come back to ourselves and to our true identity, you know, and reclaim it and celebrate it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I hope you subscribe to my channel, and that if you like the video, you like it. Thank you very much. I hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Take care.